Well, my sister was in treatment in Massachusetts. I was here in New York City. She was working harder than certainly I'd seen anyone work in my entire life to get well emotionally. And I think the therapists agreed that they'd really never seen someone work quite as hard as she would. She had these worksheets which she would fill out diligently and just extensively and practice these sort of behaviors and these interrelational sort of exercises. And I would say I know from my own life and my own experiences where I've had challenges. You know, for me, I get scared really easily. I'm neurotic, I'm anxious, and I have phobias. And you know what? I don't want to work on them. It's easier just to avoid it. And here was my sister diving right in and going to really scary, painful places. I remember there was an initial kind of relief and maybe sense of stability or calm that came from working on these exercises and being in this supportive setting with other people who shared this diagnosis. But there came a point, I think, in the middle of her treatment where it got really hard. And when, you know, sort of all the external stuff had been stripped away, all the behaviors that helped her cope with the pain had been stripped away, she was left with a lot of pain and a lot of fear. You know, she was 39 at the time. I'm 39 years old, and I have these 20 years behind me where I didn't move forward the way all my peers did. I'm 39, and I haven't had the kind of job that I would need to move forward in the world. I'm 39, I haven't had the relationship I would have wanted. Where do I go? You know, is there any guarantee I will get this in the years going forward? And that was terrifying. And those are sort of existential and really practical questions that would cause many people to run the other way. And I think my sister just kept on plowing ahead and kept on moving forward through really painful, uncomfortable stuff and putting herself in situations that could not have been fun, and sort of not give into borderline behavior, to, you know, like go right back to the basics and then start rebuilding herself from the ground up. And watching that was inspiring, it was moving, it was powerful, it was stunning. I mean, I've really never seen someone rebuild themselves in the way that my sister did. And for our relationship, it was apparent right away. And I can't take no credit here. I was just kind of the passive recipient. She shows up and she's this person who feels very different to me, who is solicitous in a way that feels so new, and who is wise and thoughtful in a way that is incredibly invigorating and supportive. To the extent that today we have what I consider to be a wonderful relationship, a truly valued relationship, I credit her. I mean, I can't say I did anything. I received what she offered. And so...
I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
Well, you know, but...
That's an interesting question for perhaps another time.
For another therapist, another day.
Isn't there also like idealism there? See, I feel very uncomfortable listening to it. There's idealism going on.
Well, she's your younger sister.
But I think it's also true. Yeah, I would say to you now, own it too. Look, I'm not saying you don't have moments. I'm not saying you don't have. We have fights. We disagree on things, but it's much more in the plane of.
I have one last question
Yeah.
that I'd like your input on.